Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hi everyone, welcome back to this edition of Astrodology with Astrid. We are here to talk about this new moon in Pisces coming up on March 10th, Sunday, March 10th. And because of daylight savings time, it will be at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Pacific time, depending on where you are. Pisces, I love Pisces season because it is a watery sign. And Pisces, this is the 5th consecutive new moon, and it's the final new moon of this consecutive 5 degrees. So 5 is the number of change and constant change. And so Pisces is an amazing sign that definitely wants us to look at change. Pisces is considered the reminder of our sea of consciousness. So Pisces is considered the 12th sign, which is considered a wise, magical sign. Pisces moon energy is truly a time of magic. Have you noticed an uptick in your intuition? Have your dreams been active and very colorful lately? You can thank Piscean energy for this because it's connected to the planet Neptune. So connecting to our intuition helps us to tap into universal guidance and source energy. Follow your intuition hits no matter what it says, because when intuition is present, it usually doesn't make sense to us. So the idea is to follow no matter what. Pisces is also water heal. So this is a time to heal. What do you need to heal? Using your physical body as the conduit to find where the trauma, the anxiety, the fear is stored. So when we hurt, when things upset us, it finds a place to set up in the physical body. So feeling into where that location is a great time during this Pisces new moon. Pisces helps us connect with source and light. And it's important for you to physically stay in balance by drinking lots of water, be near water, let the tears flow. Go to lakes, streams, oceans, showers, take an extended shower or a long, languorous bath. Because Pisces energy invites us to explore our innermost fantasies and desires. Since Pisces is about intuition, I wanted to read a beautiful poem, or it's kind of called Honoring. So this is Prayers of Honoring. It's kind of like a prayer, but like an affirmation. So as we go into this Piscean energy, Pisces is about dreaming and imagining and really tapping into visioning and creating things, because this one is called Honoring Vision. And then I will go into my usual by astrological sound breakdown. Okay, here we go. Honoring Vision. We're here in gratitude for the blessing of life. We give thanks for the gift of sight in all its forms. We know what to do. We just need a little reminding now and again. Standing in the east, we greet the new day, the promise of a great adventure, finding us on the precipice of fresh awareness. Teach us to begin by caring deeply and let that caring stretch out over the horizon on eagle's wings. Show us how to take that stop over the edge, looking into the unknown, to remember that risk brings learning even through our mistakes. Steep us in the waters of trust so our toes will not be afraid to touch the mysterious future. Remind us that we are responsible for what comes next, that the past is a good educator, but not always a reliable compass. Help us prioritize our health, the health of others, and the mama planet. Help us organize and assemble and share our ideas with one another. Help us find ways to clear the obstacles that congest the pathways you're trying to reach us through. Show us how to apply our caring natures to the world so it's a better place for people, a place where we love to live. Help us do our part to create that world here and now. Help us envision it without idealism and pretense. Give us the strength and tenacity to endure. Show up at the town hall meetings and do the inner housekeeping that allows us to make a difference for someone struggling the way we once did. Let us move into the next phase with confidence. Ground us, lift us up, ready us for what's to come by putting our feet on good path. Help us to see with long vision before we set out. Remember the great-great-grandchildren who are coming. Keep their air and water clean and spare them our shadows by doing our healing work now and walking our good walk. Again, prayers of honoring by Pixie Lighthouse. Beautiful. So today we're going to talk about affirmations to use during this full moon by astrological sign. So these thoughts come from Chani Nichols today. So instead of talking about how it will affect you, it's very empowering to engage in affirmations that are associated energetically with our zodiac sign. So let's start with Aries. This is an affirmation for Aries as we go into this new moon in Pisces. Remember, we have 2 weeks to feel through the energy and work through the energy. And we have the 3 peak days, which will be Sunday, April 10th, Monday, April 11th, Sunday, March 10th, Monday, March 11th, and Tuesday, March 12th to hit on this peak energy, Aries. I take all rest stops up on their offer. I let myself unwind. I know that growth is impossible if I don't prioritize digesting, incorporating, and integrating all that I've learned. I know that this moment of recalibration will not last, so I will relish it, welcome it, and rejoice in it. I know that it's sometimes hard to stop, that I can convince myself to keep running on empty and burning all ends of my candle, but that does not benefit me long term. At the close of the day, I want my actions to add up to a life that makes me feel well loved. Taurus, here's your affirmation. I recognize collective daydreaming as a powerful tool for world remaking. I gather with those who stir my imagination, awaken my creativity, and send my hopes into high gear. I love myself enough to say, no thank you, to any and all invitations that drain me. I scan the crowd for those who are ready to radically claim their agency and their dreams with me. Gemini, what the world does with my offerings is not up to me. It's none of my business how liked, accepted, or applauded my contributions will be. My only concern is that I be true to my talents, that I answer what calls me, and that I never betray the veracity that is mine to convey. My deepest desire is that when I leave this life, I know that I have left the best of me behind. If I can achieve that, I will have succeeded in creating an otherworldly amount of success. Cancer, with this new moon, I center what will bring me long-term satisfaction. The goals I have aren't a list of accomplishments, but rather a way in which I want to feel. I know that it's not reasonable to expect inspiration every day, but it is more likely that my muses will find me when I practice making contact with them. Committing to a path or a routine doesn't mean I have to do it forever. It just means I have faith that it will get me to whatever the next leg of my journey will be. Leo, I save space for collaborators who know how to build bridges, weave new patterns, and sing the praises of all that comes to their aid. I want to join forces with those who center what is possible when everyone knows they are responsible for the energy they bring into the room. Healing, growth, and joy are all the more likely when I surround myself with folks who center their own. Virgo, I commit to those who center reciprocity. I know that I can work circles around most, but my deepest desire is to be able to relax into partnerships of equal ebb and flow. I commit to the exchanges in my life that effectively hold space for everyone's humanities, needs, and natural talents. Receiving the support of my beloveds offer me a powerful way to serve my relationships. Libra, what I routinely do shapes my life in one direction or another, like waves crashing against rock. Eventually, my daily efforts sculpt my world. I take a moment to see if the lines, curves, and concaves of my actions leave me feeling inspired, or if there are new rhythms that I need to roll out, other rituals to experiment with, or more time to reclaim from my calendar. Scorpio, there is no greater pleasure than enjoying the time that I've got. It's not always easy, it's not always simple, but I commit to being mindful of the pockets of presence that I can find. I dedicate this week to being radically aware of what delights me. I corral the kittens of my worried mind so that I can focus on the beauty of every creative act I take part in, and I am grateful for each moment I am able to do so. Sagittarius, I owe it to myself to build my life on a foundation of self-care. I say no to what demoralizes me and yes to what encourages my growth. I welcome all joy, friendship, and sweetness that shows up on my doorstep. I refuse empty promises that come knocking. I return to sender anything that is deprived of goodwill. Anyone who is self-serving will be met with a do not disturb sign. I know that the only way to cultivate what I want more of is to nourish, water, and to prioritize it. Capricorn, I make lounging a ritual. Naps, meditations, and moments spent in silence connect me to everything in my life that's magical. I am an entirely different person when I am well fed, rested, and exercised. I am so much more ready, willing, and able to be of service to this world when I have taken a beat to remember who I am and what my needs are. I am so much more effective when I say no to what burns me out, overwhelms my system, or poisons my waters. With this new moon, I center these truths and commit to the simplest and most efficient ways of reworking my days. Aquarius, I renew my commitments to all that helps me bring my gifts into the world. I break ties with all that tries to convince me to stay small, quiet, or comfortable. I don't want safety if it comes at the cost of truly living. I don't want to be complacent when I could be creating. I don't want to take for granted the talents I've been given. So I double down on my allegiances to all that I can praise, be grateful for, and share. And Pisces, I am allowed to begin again. I am allowed to make new choice. I am allowed to give myself the space I need, the breathing room required, and the option to say, can I get back to you on that? I am allowed to not know, to try something on for size, and to experiment. The only thing that I am no longer allowed to do is to sacrifice myself for anything or anyone. Wow, those were beautiful, beautiful, beautiful affirmations. I love it. So with this new moon in Pisces, before you make an intention, be sure to meditate and relax, or just sit in stillness. Use your breath to make sure that you breathe yourself into a calmer state. You can sit, you can lay still, but just become present. Just take a moment to just allow yourself some space and grace. The new moment is the best place, aka known as the present moment. If you are not sure what you need to heal or focus on, ask. Ask if there is anything that you're holding on to that no longer serves your highest good. And ask to be shown the way on how to let it go. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Astrodology with Astrid. Wishing you a beautiful, beautiful, intuitively wisdom-guided new moon in Pisces. Again, coming in on the 10th of March, 1 is a new beginning. So we have an automatic fresh beginning. We won't be able to see the new moon in the sky, but because daylight savings time happens on the same day, the moon won't be as dark as it normally is. So use this time to illuminate your mind, your body, and your spirit. Happy new moon in Pisces. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at codalife.com. Coda is C-O-T-A, Coda Life Goddess or codalife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.